Today we look at decimals. We've done dividing decimals by a whole number. Today we look at dividing decimals by decimals. Dividing decimals by decimals. And that adds one extra step to the whole process. For example, if your problem is this, 0.6 into 0.6 getting divided into 1.44. When it was by a whole number, it was pretty simple, and that was just move up the decimal. Carter, if you worry as much about showing your work as you do about putting a candy cane around your ear, you'd probably all be better off. The rule for dividing by decimals with whole numbers was to bring that decimal straight up. But you can't do that when there is a decimal in this part of the thing. You have to take one step first, and it's a pretty simple little thing. And I could go into a long explanation why this. I'm not. We're just going to do this here. Step number one is you need to move the decimal in the divisor all the way to the right. In other words, you are just going to take this and change it from being 6/10. You're going to move it right here and just make it the number 6. Okay? You're going to make it a whole number, just like before. The problem is with that, you have to do step number 2 before you're dividing. You must also move the decimal in the dividend, that's that one underneath the thing, the same number of places. Which means this. If you move this one place to get rid of it in your divisor, you also have to move this the same number of places just to balance it out. That was that whole thing when you did, remember they round. And then step number 3 is then you can bring up your decimal and divide. Once you have the decimal out of there and you move this over here, then it's this. It goes straight up here from where it ended up, and then you just start your division. 6 goes into 14 twice, that's 12, and then 6 goes into 24 4 times. The answer to this is 2.4. Okay, another example. Let's say you've got 0.8 divided by 0.04. And let's again say how critical it is you know how to write this as a division problem, because with decimals this can be done either way. I mean, you can do this, you can put either one under the box and get an answer, but only one of them is going to be right. What happens when you write this down using boxes? They flip spots. This goes over there, that goes over there. 0.04 goes on the outside. Inside is 0.8. So what do we do here? I need to move this. How many places is it going to get over all the way to the right? 1, 2. Okay, so if I move this 2 places, I also have to move this 2 places to the right. And that turns into 80. So now the problem just turns into 4 divided into 80, which happens to be 20. Decimal moves straight up from where it ended up there. Really what you're doing when you do that is you're multiplying both of these sides by 100 right off the bat to get rid of decimals. That's what we do when we're doing this moving decimal thing. I multiply this by 100, it becomes 4. I multiply this by 100, it becomes 8, and then I don't have to worry about decimals so much anymore. How about this one? You do this one. 1.24 1.24 divided by 0.04. Divided by 0.04. Tell me what you get for an answer to that. .24 divided by 0.04. Rand says
31.
Anybody else say 31? Somebody say something else? Well, let's look. It is 1.24 divided by 0.04. Move the decimal 2 places. Move the decimal 2 places. It's like 4 into 124 now. The decimal would go straight above here where it ends up. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 4 once. Questions, problems, issues?